Settled next to the Willamette River, Autzen Stadium is a jewel in the Pacific Northwest, and the flock of Ducks that call it home have made this one of the most challenging places for any team to come calling. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit. As we'll see the number 8 team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on the winners of 4 straight, the Oregon Ducks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Ducks will put total leather to crank us up. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So the Michigan Wolverines offense will get the first possession of the game. And here comes this quarterback. This entire offense is built around him. He is the engine of the entire team.
I mean, he's the leader. He's the alpha. Everybody looks towards him. He's been doing it all year long. Everybody believes in this young man. Big opportunity, big stage.
Finds his way ahead for 5, and now they've got it at the 28. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce on you and seize momentum.
Looking downfield, it's Waddle. Got his man on the right. And he could. Get to the marker, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Oh, you know, that's one as a quarterback. You've thrown the completion, and you're like, dude, can you just turn around and make one guy miss and go get the first? Or can you just stretch out and get the first down? You need your guys to have a little bit more awareness where they are in the field on that play. And even though they got the completion, it's not enough to pick up the first. And now you're staring 4th down right in the face.
Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down.
Well, there are not a lot of head coaches that I think are willing on their opening drive to go for it on 4th down, especially in that kind of field position. But this head coach ain't scared. And he believes in his running back. He believes in his offensive line to go pick it up, and that's exactly what they did.
They're going to ride this running back.
And runs like that are like body blows in a boxing match. 4, 5, 6-yard gains early turn into 20, 30, 40-yard gains later. They really wear down defenses, and they test their physicality.
Unloads quickly. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
Well, jet sweep pass. He ended up losing yardage on the play, and that'll bring up 4.
That's a great job executing up front by the defense. They looked like they were ready for that play, and that was a bit of a more unconventional look from the offense on 3rd down, but the defense was there to make a big stop.
And the Wolverines will punt it away on 4th down. Gets the first one of the day out of there. He ought to be fresh. They only used him twice in that victory last week. So Oregon's offense will go to work for the first time. Typically, the last thing a defense wants is to have a backer on a wide receiver, but we may see some of that today, guys.
And typically, you don't see linebackers that can run like this guy, and that's why they feel okay letting him cover this dynamic wide receiver one-on-one.
Yeah, and feel okay, it's not going to be a good thing. You better get your hands on him early. Put your physicality, let that win. It ain't going to be...
And he is snowed under, sacked at the 7. Fast, physical, and disruptive, Michigan has a rich and storied history of guys up front who can make life miserable for a quarterback.
Just dudes. I mean, guys that win matchups. Guys that, you know, if it's going to be a pass rush on the outside, one-on-one on a tackle, they can go get him at the defensive end spot. And we can mention names. And Hutchinson recently, one of the higher picks in the NFL draft, but always guys that play the same way.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On third down, he drops to throw. Wide open downfield. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped.
Nice play design on that one. You make it easy for your quarterback, too, because it's easy to see what's happening right in front of you. Over the middle of the field, you can see where defenders are dropping. You can see where the soft spots are in zone coverage. And just a really nice job by the QB locating his guy and making an accurate throw.
Small gain, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
Pocket starts to collapse, and the freshman will chalk up a sack.
And that is a great job by the defense, containing and constricting the pocket. There was nowhere for the QB to go, and he did not have a lot of time. He went down quick.
Some third down conversions tougher than others. This one, a long one on third down from the 43. Getting some heat. Didn't have much of a choice, just had to throw that one away. It'll be fourth down.
And this is why you don't want to get in these situations. Third and long, defense knows it's pass. They're playing pass, playing deep. QB has nowhere to go with the football, so he just throws it away.
He'll bring it back. It's Cobb. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. And don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. Got his man quickly. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
It'll be a run on 3rd and short. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
Well, with the weapons this offense has, you knew it was just a matter of time in the run game before someone was going to break a long one. They'd just been running into a wall. They just couldn't seem to find their creases and get enough movement up front, but they finally got it there, picking up the first. Let's see what happens next.
Good timing on the quick out. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Dropping back, it's Waddle. Got his man out of the backfield. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down. That's why you want to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. It lets you beat a blitz. It lets you get a first down.
And that makes me think, do I want a blitz? How do I leave him open? Because they keep dumping it off to the running back and having success. I'm going to think twice about bringing the blitz. Nice read by the QB. Nice job by the running back getting some extra yards and getting the first down.
Makes the grab. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4. If they're going to keep covering him like that, they're just going to keep going to him.
Yeah, and it's so hard because you want to stay back and take away the weapons outside to the wide receivers, but when this guy's going to be able to catch the football and he makes plays like this, now I'm going to have to maybe go play more man, bring a guy to him, and not let him get those open touches.
They'll run it. Able to make the stop after a gain of 2 to the 22.
Oh, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
They make the stop, and that'll bring the first quarter to a close. Defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. First down to start the drive after the break. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Flushed out of the pocket. He just threw it away. The last thing you want to do is try to force something on first down in the red zone.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there, I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
Power football with the run. Maybe a 3-yard pickup there, 3rd and long coming up. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Looking to pass. It's Waddle. Quick strike complete. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
Right there, I think you need a better play call. You got to help your quarterback out a little bit because the throw has got to at least make it to the sticks. On that last play, you're basically trusting the guy to make a few dudes miss in order to go pick up that first down. I think you need to start being a bit more aggressive here when these third downs present themselves.
They get him on the ground, but it's a first down. There was never a doubt about going for it there. If you don't go for it, you send the message to your team you don't believe in.
Yeah, I mean, that close, literally you're talking about falling forward. I can't fall forward and get inches. Man, I'm taking my chances with that.
Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. That penalty moves the ball back 10 yards. We'll replay the down. The Wolverines have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. The snap sets up to throw. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
In the last couple of weeks, man, you're getting a lot of consistency from this QB. And you got to love it as a play caller, man. You can drop him back. You can throw the ball a ton. You can trust him. Getting the ball to different wide receivers. He's really in a good groove the last couple games.
On 2nd down, he's looking downfield. Got it set up on the outside. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. After a drive this long, a field goal would be demoralizing at this point. It's 3rd and goal. Here comes the option. He'll pitch it. And he's sprinting. He'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Michigan. want to keep your offense on the field, wear down the defense, put that tape on and show it in a clinic. That's the way it's done.
And as a defense, man, there's nothing more demoralizing. You can handle it when you give up 3, but to give up the touchdown at the end of a long drive, you're already exhausted. You've already been punked the whole way down the field. Man, that's frustrating.
Lining up to add another. And the PAT makes it 7-0. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Florida State is down, but they are not out of it. Not there inside Doak Campbell Stadium, one of the more special places to watch a game in all of college football. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to NC State. We'll circle back if anything changes in this exciting college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
They'll knock him down after a pickup of 1 to the 18.
I like feeding my guy. I like getting my running back touches, feeding him the ball so he can break some of those big runs. But I'm also okay with these little ones. Set the tone, stay balanced.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And what you talk about on defense is speed, is penetration, getting in the backfield, making something happen. And you could tell they got in there so quick, the offense couldn't recover, couldn't do anything with them. Nice job getting the tackle for a loss.
Going to try to get it himself. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit. The Ducks decide to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Looking for a block. It's Cobb. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Pollock.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
To the air. It's Waddle. Finds his big tight end. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. The biggest key there is the quarterback understanding that A, it's zone, but B, what kind of zone is it? Is it one high safety? Is it two high safeties? And then you know instinctively where your best throw, where your highest percentage completion is based on what type of zone coverage it's going to be.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on first down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good second down.
Right back to him on the ground. Tackle is made at the 27. Let's give him 10 yards on the play, and it is enough for a first down. And the Wolverines have their offense in high gear. Comes out throwing on first down. He'll take a shot. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
Quickly complete. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. You know, sometimes even a short game like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
Gets it out fast. And he's brought to the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down.
Well, this defense now is just getting gashed. And if you're the defensive coordinator, you might now want to think about being aggressive, changing up your play calls, and maybe breaking your own tendencies because you have got to stop this offense just marching down the field.
Trying to get to it. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense felt coming into the game that if he was going to try to throw from the pocket, they could get to him and affect his accuracy, and they did on that last play.
This time it's complete. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. It's the 2-minute warning, and we'll see if the offense can tack a little something extra on their lead before the break. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. They'll try to run for it. And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines. Lining up for the PAT. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. They went 54 yards on that last touchdown drive. And it was capped off with the 8-yard run. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. On the move from inside his 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Getting late here in the first half, they'll have a chance to make this a one-possession game.
And the offensive play caller here has to really be dialed in. It's important down 2 possessions, Dave, that they're able to score some points. So you got to call your best stuff in this 2-minute situation.
And such a good opportunity to cut into a one-score game, create that momentum, get some good juices going for the second half because obviously, you know, you built yourself a little bit of a deficit. You need some good things to happen, and it needs to happen on this possession.
Here comes the offense on second down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Gets rid of it. He's got him this time.
And you see so many smart wide receivers, so many smart tight ends nowadays that they know where the holes in those zones are, and they work with their quarterback, and they find them, and they sit down in them and make big plays. It's tough to sit back in zone against such smart players nowadays.
Now the defense will try to keep them on this end on third and short from the 21. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Fourth down, and the punt team sends it the other way. And the returner will be brought down. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They wanted to set the tone, strike quickly. Jesse, they've done exactly that, up 2 touchdowns.
And this quarterback has been dialed in, too. He's been so good reading coverage, going to where the open guy is with the football. And they've been up and down the field, David, so far.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
You want to change some of this bad luck you've had so far around? Get after the quarterback and get his butt on the ground. Nice job by the defense. This game ain't over. It's still the first half. This is a good start.
Looking to throw, it's Waddle. He'll take a deep shot here. And that's going to be incomplete, going for broke on second down, but third down's coming up. Man, that one is going to make this quarterback sick to his stomach. That's almost always automatic for him.
Yeah, that's pitch and catch. That's day one. When you go out and watch practice, the ball very rarely hits the ground unless you have a defender because these QBs and wide receivers are so good. But, man, just a mishap, a little overthrow.
On third and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. And And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
Third and long is difficult. You have to push the ball down the field. Nothing worse than watching people dink and dunk on third and long and get tackled, then run the punt unit on. I like the aggressiveness. Try to push the ball down the field. It's not the worst thing in the world. You throw an INT. It's kind of like a punt.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. On second down, he'll fire. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Here's the handoff. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. Bringing it back, it's Cobb. And you make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. The Wolverines will kick it off to start the second half. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman and being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the second half.
You know, and I think if you're this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first 30 minutes, you cannot.
They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. It's a draw. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Off the bootleg and rolling out. Steps away. Trying to make magic with his feet. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Really good job by the defense getting to the quarterback and getting him on the ground for no gain. It's tough. Once you get there and get pressure, it's so hard to get these guys on the ground because they're elusive. Really good job wrapping him up and getting to the ground.
I got to be honest, I am shocked at just how well the defense has played in this game, especially stopping the run. We talked about statistically how they've struggled this season, but they have put the clamps down in this one, and they're just playing with a ton of intensity.
Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays, and I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw it this drive.
Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. From the gun, the running back has it. And the defense drags him down.
Really nice play call there on 2nd and long by the offensive coordinator. He was able to get a lot of that yardage back by running the football, and now, of course, it sets up a 3rd and manageable situation.
They'll run the option. The pitch. And they just didn't get anybody on that defense out of position, and they will lose yardage on that one. And the Wolverines will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too. They just keep putting me back on the field, possession after possession. Jesse, this offense needs to get their heads out of their you-know-whats.
The punter's on the sideline with the oxygen mask right now. He's been playing so much. He's not used to this. This offense, they just got to stay on the field. They've got to put a drive together and get some balance going, running and throwing the ball.
Just feeds the running back. At the 35, he's open. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. From the gun, running back gets the give. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run it up the middle, try different things to see what you do well.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, the linebacker's showing you read and react. He knew exactly where that running play was going, and he beat the football to the line of scrimmage and forced the TFL.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play. And on fourth down, they'll try to put 3 on the board. This field goal attempt is going to be an even 50-yarder. He boomed it through, a 50-yard field goal showing off that powerful leg. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
A bit of an under-the-radar game this week, guys, but take a look at this. Florida State is being brought out back behind the woodshed right now. This is cover your eyes, hug your loved ones territory. A real shame. They're trailing by 21 to NC State. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this one.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. They'll throw it on first down. Fires to the big fella. And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain. Clock ticking away as we have 4 minutes left here in the third. The give to the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
As an offense, you've got the lead, you've had success running the football. You hope that this play is just a blip because you know you're going to have to lean on your bell cow running back to ice this game and close it out.
Back to throw, it's Waddle. He's right on target. They'll move those chains, getting it out to the 29-yard. Get this drive rolling.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
To the ground with the back. At the 40, there he goes. He got a bunch and looked close to getting a lot more, but he's got the first down. The Wolverines are rolling down the field. Looking to go up top on first down. Fires to the tight end. And the defense coming with bad intentions. They knock him down for a loss.
Well, they're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
Off the RPO, complete. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down.
That's a really nice pass. You can see why this guy right here gives the Michigan faithful reason to be optimistic. You know, for years we know Michigan has always been good at running the football, but they've got to be able to throw. They've got to be more consistent making big plays through the air. This guy gives them that chance.
He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
It's so important this offense is able to get this guy the ball in space, especially on the perimeter of the field. And I love that last play call because he's able to get outside and use his speed. To me, that's where this guy is his most dangerous.
Pulls and fires complete to the right. Put it right on him. Sweet play, good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the first down. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. They'll throw it from the red zone. Moves around to clear up the vision. Finds his big tight end. They get him down, and that'll be the final play of the third period. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. They'd love to start this quarter off with a touchdown right here. They'll keep it on the ground for first and goal. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Michigan. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their fourth straight win. And now with the extra point, they're up by 18 here in the fourth. If you want to know how to reach this guy, just send his mail to the end zone. That's where he lives.
He definitely is today. And I think the defense has to be getting a little sick and tired of the same guy beating him time and time again.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. And he takes this from inside the 5. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. You want to talk about having a weapon to bail out a drive? David, that's why kickers are so important after that long field goal.
And listen, important is a relative term. We need to make longer passes and get better gains so we don't have to kick long field goals, Palmer, again on offense.
And they've got the weapons to do that, David. They just got to be able to dial those plays up. Guys have to be able to make them one-on-one to make life easier on this kicker who is so important to this team.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. Michigan has long had defenses built on discipline, carrying out their assignment, and they have done that to perfection today.
Carry out your assignment, do what you're supposed to do, but do it.
Ball in the air, intercepted. They get him on the ground after the turnover, but there is a flag on the field, and we'll see if that will be a reprieve for this offense. That is a huge break for this offense. Instead of the turnover, roughing the passer, and you've still got the football. And so the quarterback takes one for the team on the roughing the passer penalty, and it'll be first down. He wants to throw. Tight end finds a soft spot. And he laid the lumber to stop him from getting the first down. They'll line up for a second down play. He's looking to throw. He's moving out of the pocket. Just a solid stop by this sophomore.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
And more yards after contact. And he scoots his way to the first down and then slides to avoid the hit.
So frustrating as a defense because you got the offense in third down. You're in a situation now where you can get off the field if somebody just makes a play, but you let the quarterback escape. And then beyond all that, you can't even get a good hit on him because he slides to protect himself.
And he gets it just beyond the line of scrimmage before he gets down. And now on second down for this offense. He's looking to throw. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be third down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. He's going to run it. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
This quarterback doing a lot of good decision-making on that last play. First off, nice job extending, but then understanding what the coverage was, understanding nobody's open, and then going, hey, look, I can go get this myself, and finally, not only am I going to get this first down, I'm going to take care of myself, too. I'm going to slide. I practiced this all week. Little baseball slide action. We got a fresh set of downs.
Those always sting a little bit. When you get so close to getting the QB to the ground, creating a negative play, and then all of a sudden he turns it into something positive, just really annoying as a defensive guy.
Now they'll run the draw. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, that last play is basically a microcosm of what today has been like for this offense. Just nothing happening. Not physical enough at the point of attack. They're being swarmed. They haven't had the balance necessary to win this game, and that's why they find themselves trailing late.
And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
Well, a lot of things haven't gone right for him. He saw an incompletion right there. It's been offense, it's been defense. They just haven't been able to click and get into a rhythm here. And now they're playing catch-up, and you know they're going to be throwing at each and every play here in the fourth quarter.
Makes the catch. He's got enough. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the first down there.
Yeah, and you've got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were, and because of that, he gives up the first down. Need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
On second down, wants to throw. And here comes the Heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
Yeah, and they get him again. This is a offense that you expect them to protect their guy. I mean, he is a dude that you know if you give him time, he's going to make plays, but this defense is making sure he's not getting that time.
They just haven't been able to get much going in this game. The defense has definitely had their number, and here they are late. You're asking yourself, why are they still running the football, trailing this much late in the game? But that's basically a microcosm of how this game has gone.
On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. They got him. It's a sack, and what a stop for this defense to turn it over on downs.
He had nowhere to go with the football. Fourth down, you know he wants to make a play. I'd like for him to throw it up, to be honest. Try to give somebody an opportunity to make a play. Who cares if I throw a pick? It's fourth down anyways, but couldn't find anybody to get the ball off. Defense surrounds him, gets him to the ground with the sack.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Moving the running back, forcing the defense to adjust. Spins away from the defender. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain.
And listen, they didn't get the huge play off of that, but I love the ability to show that and be able to show plays off of that jet motion and just show them you're willing to complete it. But, you know, get those little chunks at a time. It doesn't have to always be a home run. That's still a successful play.
A little screen to the running back. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense is that much closer to salting away a victory. No return coming here as he signals for the fair catch and makes it right around the 30-yard line. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. This offense needs something to feel good about. It hasn't been very productive today, Jesse.
Well, I think it's just important they stay aggressive, try to throw the football, and just see what this quarterback can do here at the end of the game to build confidence for the next time they take the field.
Yeah, and there hadn't been much good today. But build confidence, sure, but just show your team you're going to keep fighting no matter what the scoreboard says.
They'll go back to the air on 2nd down. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. The offense gets a quick timeout. At this point, every second is precious.
And if you had any questions about this quarterback's arm talent, now you've got your answer. Wow.
Wants to throw on first down. Gets it to the back. And oh, did they know that one was coming. They'll knock him down in the backfield. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. On second down, just keeps firing. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
And the Ducks will snap it on 1st and 10.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on 1st down, setting up an easier 2nd down. Understanding,
Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30. The Ducks want to pick up the tempo. Defense showing blitz, trying to rattle this quarterback. Throws to the wideout. Working the middle. And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch. And they spike it and get the clock stopped. They'll give it another shot on 2nd and goal from the 4. He's looking to throw, using his legs to buy some time. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Ducks!
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation. And this one is just about in the books. The defense can stop the clock one more time as the offense takes a knee. We sensed a great deal of confidence, almost a smugness from this coaching staff. And these guys on the field, it's as if they knew they were going to win.
Yeah, playing with a bit of a chip on their shoulder, and I think they really felt like they had a real good game plan offensively and defensively coming into this one, David. There were some matchups on the field they thought they could exploit. We saw that happen here.
No doubt. Good job by this coaching staff, understanding who's out there to make plays, feeding them the football, offense, defense, special teams, all working together to get the W.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.